I am also from Keio University. I'm working for the Mita Media Center. My name is Ichiko. Same as Ms. Kurata, I'm working at the Keio Universities. At this moment, I cannot really respond to what she said in her speech, but I'd like to share some of the things that we have. Dr. David and Dr. Murayama gave a keynote speech, and also I have listened to all the presentations of the scholars, and what I'm going to share with you now is really based on my experience, so that the aspects are a bit different from the previous speeches. I think that many librarians were asked to give a speech, but probably they declined, and I was the last resort. And I was given this opportunity just 1 week before. I was listening to Dr. David, and I learned a great deal what's taking place in the world, and also in Japan, in the libraries, the word open itself became a key word. Still, the librarians are at a loss that what to do to make it open. And even among the librarians, we need to have the person who advocates the idea, such as Heather. We have to have more people to advocate this concept. So when it comes to open science, I don't think that there is no one that's there ready to embrace the concept of open platform. So I am working for the Mita Media Center of Keio University, and the name of the library is Media Center. The host the Westerner probably think that media center may sound like we are also treating videos and some broadcasting. But the 1993 Keio Library changed its name from the Academic Information Center to Media Center. And at that time, I couldn't really understand why the name have to be media. But I think they are aiming at embracing not just the text, but also the video and other medias. So what's been done by libraries? The librarians collect data, store them, and provided them. And this is a repetition of the work. However, we really have to think that this is the accumulation of the knowledge, and also it is essential for the advancement of the disciplines and researches. So even though the media made changes, the librarian must conduct the same missions. And we also have these pillars. When I studied, I didn't have much of a concept of 5 different pillars of Dr. Ranganathan, and I think these 5 pillars are the mission of the librarians. But 1931, Ranganathan came up with these 5 pillars, but so media at that time was book, but now we are in the era of internet and researchers, users, and we really have to give a strong constellation to the time of the researchers. This is the research done by OCLC, and along with the digital transformation, that the time became very important factor in searching the data. And this is the Keio University's information environment. I'd like to talk a little bit about this. This is mainly STMK related issues. So this is the outline of the researchers' study environment. Major publishing companies, e-journal, Keio University has 1.7 billion budget, and half of them is used for e-journals. So our collection is really comparable to that of the major universities in the world. So we also subscribe to a series of journals, and as Heather mentioned, we also have the pre-printed journals. Some are using pre-printed servers, and also people submit the thesis to the journals, and also we have the bulletin, which becomes a major platform for the humanities searches. Then what about searches? We have a big database companies and also publishers database, plus Google, PubMed, and there are many databases, but probably people are using Google most frequently. Then researchers, the researchers' informations, how do they manage? The Kurashima-san said that this system was very inconvenient, but this is the Keio proprietary database, and company A's system is also utilized. As for the evaluation of the research, bibliometrics-oriented evaluation, company A's tools are used. Then what about the accumulation of the research data? We are in the process of creating the policy about the accumulation of data. Kurashima-san said that they are using Elixir, and researchers store the data by themselves and still debating which tools would be the best. The information exchange among the researchers are sometimes emails, SNS such as ResearchGate or Sci-Hub. Then what do we do as librarians? Sometimes we give instructions, and so far we don't know that what we should be doing to solicit the open source. So I have explained about the researchers at the Keio University, but now I'd like to change the topic to libraries. Libraries has been collecting books and magazines. Now we have to collect e-books, journals, and also conclude contract on databases. And we have a big deal for e-journals, and for e-books, demand-driven type of system. so that libraries' know-hows are not being used anymore. What you have to do is just to conclude a contract with the commercial companies. So these are the changes. And even the library, we have to accommodate the needs stipulated by the users and also abiding the international standard. And also we make sure that we have people who can work on these electronic systems. Well, we've been changing the organization, but when you think of the system itself, the current system is the third generation of the library systems. First stage, for each campus, they have technical services and also the categories. But we decided to integrate all the systems. And the second system, 1998, we started introducing e-management system as an external management system to control the books. Currently, we are in the third stage, paper and electronic data integrated in the libraries. So in this change, the budget, over 50% of the library budgets are given to the digital data. The books, magazines were the main archives, but now digital resources and also the physical books and magazines are all collected by libraries. So there are 6 different media centers. At the headquarters, the technical matters are being prepared, such as reception of the journals and also making the catalogs. So next, the information search is usually done in such a way that the librarians receive the request from the researchers and look for the data. And as for the reference services, information literacy informations were provided by the libraries, and such as ILL. And we have decreased this type of assignments significantly. As for the archives themselves, the STMK-related science-oriented libraries, magazines are now e-magazines, and the reference books are all transformed into the digital format. So you don't have to keep the physical books, so that space-wise, every center's renovations are taking place.
And I say treasury here. So in Mita campus of Keio University, and we have a treasury like so the Gutenberg book copy, and to make the translate that into the electronic data, and so the making available to the public is one of the activities. This is a kind of the social contribution. Data and copyright, so that I put so many question mark here, and as a change in the library, actually the recognition to the executive office of the college. Actually, in many years, I have been a feeling that actually the improving the library was not really the first priority, and by participating the Google Library and so the other projects, now the major executives in the so the colleges are now the so the understanding so the importance of the so the library and digitization. And now, so gradually, as an institutional research, so bibliometrics or so analysis of the college ranking are done, and through those, and so the recognition or awareness of the so the librarians and so the library staff are getting better. And I belong to Mita Media Center, as I mentioned earlier, and also I am part of academic support department, and also I am working for the so the office of the dean. I'm a member of the so the office of the dean, and then so the another situation change is the so the change in publishers. This is already open to the public. So in header slide, the company A was mentioned. And actually, the actions taken by company A are like these. So software companies, repository companies. So this company A, so the publisher bought these companies, and they also bought Plum Analytics, and also they bought the company of this experimental data management tool company, and social science and the humanitarian science repository. So publisher like this company are actually looking so collecting the so the several different services which really sort of matches to the researchers' flow. This is the so the press release by the so the company B. This is a linkage to the so the press release of a company B. This company B is working on with several different measures. This company recently announced that so they are sort of starting a new organization of the so the ISS. So by taking a look at these changes taking place in the field, well, my point is I'm not really blaming publishers. I'm not saying publishers are wrong, but researchers have relied on the publishers. Actually, the researchers and the publishers have been working together. Without having the good cycle of this system, the development of a science and also the career of the researchers were not as good as we have here. Well, so my slide about the publisher is not to blame the publishers, but so in the field of the the scientific communications, currently we already have established good relationship, and that should be well kept, we think. And so the world is really changing quite rapidly, very much, and this is about when I participated into the study group. So this is the the slide I used in 2015 or so. Well, so in this group, and I was participating into the group, and studying about the intellectual platform. So this organization institution was supposed to make a policy proposal, and so my study here actually concludes some the aggressive proposition, This is the ideal situation I illustrated here in this slide. So through the process of the cloud-based the research the base. My point is, so this is the point I rose. So, but based on the background of the evolution development of the cloud computing, so through the process of the research support, so the international, so the global, so the platform is being formed, which actually store the research results and assessment information. So information are actually can improve its own value with aggregation, but however, the quality of the information now actually raise the competition of analytics. But actually, the Japan not really taking a lead in this the research platform establishment competition, but in globally actually the research status and situation actually they become visible real-time basis to the overseas platforms the business players. And actually, the Japan is not really reaching to that point. It is important that this movement or direction of the network computing are really impacting to the ideal way of the science, and also social network or the the markets, the private individuals, the researchers, should not be really left behind with this the big change. So digital library, digital archive, and the electric journal. So actually, the skill of those who are managing those systems, and we who are less paying attention. So by paying more attention to that, the multi-language that is also very important change we need to make. There are several different things and which needs to be developed. So I discussed these points in this the research group, and then later as a one of the librarians, and I also considered what really needs to be done from the perspective of a librarian. So this slide explains first of all the recognition, understanding of the status quo is very important, and also it is really necessary to have a good understanding of the commercial publisher. So scientific technology information in the English publication. Actually, the header explained that it's a $10 billion market. Also, there is a report that 110,000 people are involved in this industry, and the commercial publishers and the information, the related businesses, offering the very convenient environment, even by not even if you don't ask. So, but this kind of the environment will be really the normal. So, we should be really able to respond to that. Well, and actually, I strongly feel now that open is the right thing. But actually, the librarians and our peers not really understand that open is the right thing to do. So we really need to consider more and more how open would change ourselves. And also the financing, actually the use of money, that we should, if we use the money and the funding the better way, that we should be able to have the better results. And also enhancement of the relationship, enhancement and the building of the relationship with among researchers, college, supporting institutions and the publishers. And also libraries, the community's power is also important. I mentioned about the Langaratan. So actually, the actions or behavior of researchers and the libraries have been really changing very much. But well, today actually the researchers, I mean the direction of the services to shorten the time. Also, from the user's perspective, so shortening the required time is the mainstream. But actually, the being able to retrieve the right information, being able to collect the information or the research more is the very primarily important point, and the library is actually spending money and time on that. And so spending more money on the open thing, will not really good enough, we think. So actually the money should be spent to other things as well. Money is really the powerful tool. But if we believe that the material is the core, so then the point we really need to focus is that we really need to concentrate the support to the materials and the material availability. And so I think you can have an image what's my point, but I belong to Justice Electronic Journal supporting organization, and also RDUF is the study group. So these things needs to be linked very well, and open air is also the one European thing, and so information. I mean, this is the platform where the information really are gathering. So actually, we're working together. As a such as the single group together jointly, that will be the really good thing, and so toward the direction of making the society better. And in scientific field, a library. So actually, Professor Murayama mentioned that for libraries, becoming an important social foundation infrastructure. Actually, so this direction, that would ensure that the meaning of the existence of the libraries. Thank you very much.